Let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking the true nature of goddess Lakshmi. Now, you probably know her as the beloved Hindu goddess of wealth and good fortune, right? But as we start looking a bit closer at ancient scriptures, specifically the Vishnu Purana, we're going to see that she is so much more than just a bestower of gold or good luck. She's actually foundational to the very fabric of the universe itself. Let's start with part 1, birth from the ocean. To really ground ourselves here, we have to start with the most famous story of how wealth actually arrived on Earth. It's an event of literal epic proportions, called the Samudra Manthan. Basically, the deities and demons, who were normally sworn enemies, decided to join forces. Using massive Mount Mandara as a churning stick and the Serpent King Vasuki as a rope, they vigorously churned the cosmic ocean of milk. Their goal? To attain the ultimate prize, the nectar of immortality. And from this immense cosmic whirlpool emerged some truly wondrous treasures. We're talking Sarabi, the cow of plenty. Then came goddess Varuni, deity of wine. Following them was the fragrant Parijata tree, the celestial nymphs known as Apsaras, the moon, and then Dhanvantari carrying the nectar itself. But the absolute culmination of this entire cosmic event was the arrival of the radiant goddess Shri, Lakshmi, rising majestically from the waves on a full-blown lotus. Which brings us to part 2, the mystery of eternity. Okay, so what's absolutely fascinating about this famous origin story is that it creates a massive philosophical contradiction. And the ancient sages? They were well aware of it. In the text, Sage Maitreya actually challenges his teacher, Sage Parasara, on this point. He basically says, wait a minute, if everyone says she was born from the churning of the ocean, how can you also claim she was the daughter of the sage Brigu? He completely calls out the glaring flaw in the timeline. And, it begs the ultimate question, doesn't it? If Lakshmi is truly the eternal mother of the world, how could she possibly have a beginning? How can something that has literally existed forever suddenly be born from an ocean? Well, Sage Parasara answers this by just shattering the myth entirely. In his discourse, he reveals that the goddess is eternal, she's omnipresent, imperishable. She was never truly born at all. Her emergence from the ocean wasn't a beginning. It was a manifestation. It was the physical reappearance of a fundamental cosmic force that had always been there. Let's dig deeper into that in part 3, Narayana and Lakshmi's parallels. To really wrap our heads around who she is if she wasn't just born, Parasara beautifully breaks down her totally inseparable connection with Lord Vishnu. Think of it this way. Vishnu is the profound inner meaning of all things, while the goddess is the speech, the expression that brings that meaning into reality. A thought can't be communicated without speech, right? And speech is just empty noise without meaning. They absolutely require each other. So the crucial point here is that He is the invisible creator, the underlying spirit, but she is the tangible creation. She is the very earth, the physical universe we interact with, the environment that sustains us every single day. And I love this analogy because it brilliantly illustrates their unity. Just as you cannot separate the sun from its radiant light, Vishnu and Lakshmi are one being envisaged as twofold. He's the ocean, she's the shore. He is the day, she is the night. He's the lamp, and she is the light. They are perfectly complementary forces. This perfectly sets up part 4, the dualism of the universe. Now we're getting into the core spiritual paradigm underlying all these poetic comparisons, the ultimate dualism. We're talking about the ancient cosmic principle of Prakriti, representing matter and nature, and Purusha, representing spirit and consciousness. The profound takeaway here is that the absolute, the pure spirit of Narayana, can only be reached and experienced through the relative, physical universe, which is Lakshmi. According to the teachings of Swami Krishnananda, understanding this requires a complete spiritual integration. Narayana is being and Lakshmi is becoming. Because the world is the magnificent glory of God, true spiritual seekers really shouldn't make the mistake of rejecting the world's abundance. Honestly, to reject the world and its prosperity is to literally reject a manifestation of the divine. God isn't just floating around somewhere outside the world. God is immanent, living and breathing right within our material reality. The Vishnu Purana sums this all-encompassing nature up perfectly. It states that among gods, animals, humans, Hari is the masculine principle, and Lakshmi is the feminine principle. That's the whole shebang. There is absolutely nothing beyond these two. Everything you see, touch, and experience is made up of these combined forces. And to maintain this delicate cosmic balance, whenever the Lord descends to guide or protect the world, his eternal consort perfectly mirrors his form. When he incarnates as the dwarf, she is Kamala. When he is Parashurama, she is Dharani, the earth. When he's Ramachandra, she's Sita. And when he is Krishna, she is Rukmini. They move through the vast stretches of eternity in perfect, unbroken lockstep. Which brings us to our final section, Part 5, the conclusion of all things. So what should you take away from this massive shift in understanding? Well, think about the ancient texts, like the famous tale of Harisharma, where the goddess declares, "I am fortune. With whomever I reside, abundance and fulfillment of all desires will arise. Whenever I depart, all fortune will depart with me." When we read those words through this new lens, it is not just some transactional promise of wealth or good luck. It's a profound reminder of the divine presence itself. True abundance is recognizing that the material blessings in your life are a direct reflection of the cosmic mother. I want to leave you with this final thought to ponder as we wrap up this explainer. If the physical world, nature, and the prosperity we strive for are truly the radiance of the Supreme Creator, how will you recognize the goddess in your everyday reality? How does knowing that the material world is literally divine change the way you interact with the abundance, the nature, and even the challenges in your own life today? Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope this sparks a completely new way of seeing the world around you.